And moving straight in, we can see we're a little over halfway into the draft as of right now. Cloud9 opening up with the Brewmaster, of course, the Skywrath, and the Morphling ready to go with it. And we're going to see Polar grab themselves a Death Prophet. This is going to be 4 straight games they've run the Death Prophet, and if Lil is on, it's going to be his 4th straight game running it out of mid. They also get the Ogre Magi and the Tide Hunters. So everything you just said, man, I feel like that applies not just to Fata, but there's so much you can learn from just watching almost anyone from Cloud9 from a player perspective. The way that they play and handle themselves really is just truly top tier.
Radiant team.
Yeah, it needs to come with like a surgeon's warning, though. If you watch Eternal Envy on player perspective, you're going to get a headache. Because that guy moves his camera more than... Actually, you know what? You know who moves his camera more than anyone? I'll let you take a guess. I don't know. I don't know if you watch a lot of people on player perspective, but that's my thing. I love watching player perspective.
Who is it?
S4.
S4.
I actually can't watch him on player perspective because I get a headache.
Yeah.
He moves his camera so freaking much. Envy's up there. He'll move his camera a lot too, but you can learn a lot of things watching players and their player perspective and their camera work and such.
Well, we're about to get a first-hand lesson, and looking at the way these things are matching up so far, the Morphling pickup for Cloud9. Normally, I'm kind of hit and miss with it, but I really like the way he fits in with this entire lineup just because he's going to have a lot of support all around him. I mean, Morphling, to me, he's a hero who needs a safety valve. He needs some other big, hard-hitting core, somebody who can really make a big difference on the map while he does his own thing. And, that, of course, goes for most, split-pushing hard carries and stuff. But he can come into a fight as well. And his ability to output damage, if he manages to catch a target that's been hit with the Ancient Seal from Skywrath, Brewmaster, of course, just running frontline and making sure there's a lot of interference being run. So long as he's engaging, he can actually come fight instead of just hard farm for the first 30 or 40 minutes. On the side of Polar, this draft feels a lot like Game 2 against the Lions. And we saw the blueprint on how you shut that down. Just win your lanes. Outlane them, keep the Tide Hunter down, keep the Death Prophet down, and you're not going to be able to do much of anything. So the laning phase is going to have a huge amount of focus on it looking ahead to the first 15, 20 minutes of this Game 1.
Well, this looks very similar to when I hopped in Game 2 when they had a Death Prophet mid against presumably what was going to be a dual lane.
Yeah.
Could see more dual lanes here. That almost all the time when you see Lich, you expect dual lanes coming from mid, whether it's Lich Morphling in mid or whether it's Lich Brew in mid. So I'm wondering if they don't get caught into the same kind of mode of thinking where we'll be fine in our safe lane and then get a fast blink on Tide and then we'll be good after laning phase. That did not work out at all in Game 2 for them against Alliance. So if they're able to anticipate something like that with the dual lane mid, maybe switch something around. Maybe even if it means throwing a Tide Hunter mid and doing something else, although with a pick of Slark, they might not do that. So just they need to adapt something if they anticipate hindered farm on their Death Prophet as a result of a dual lane mid.
Yeah, so far I actually just really like Cloud9's draft better. I feel like they have more options. I feel like you can do any number of things. I mean, if you're anticipating a Death Prophet mid, the ability to dual lane with something like a Morphling and a Lich, I actually really like seeing Morphling dual laned in mid if you can get away with it. And with a Lich against the DP, I think you can. That is a lane that should go well. And then if you end up sending the Brewmaster elsewhere, he's kind of a handful to deal with when he has a proper supporting cast. And just putting him with a Skywrath or potentially just some hero that matches well with him for the 5th pick can really just confound things a little bit if you're able to predict who's going to be where and how well you can cope with it. But the Slark pickup for Virtus.Pro, I like this a lot more than the draft in Game 2. Like you said, this was very similar through the first 3 for them. The Slark gives them a deceptive amount of late game, and we talked about this extensively when we were doing some of our Eastern Division casts a couple of weeks ago. Seeing Slark picked up there, he's not often thought of as like a hard carry in the sense of a Medusa, an Anti-Mage, and so on. But really going ultra late and all things being equal, he's kind of a monster. Like he is big time damage output and really scales well with items and levels. So he can go late, but he's also going to give them the ability to roam and to get on heroes like Skywrath to try to take out a hero like a Morphling before he gets nice and farmed. The big concern that I have at right now, though, is they only have one silence, and that's the Death Prophet to help deal with the Brewmaster. So Brew, if his positioning is correct, should be able to get a split off pretty much anytime he wants.
Yeah, if they get a relatively fast Ags on Ogre as well, while it's not a silence, it's kind of like a chain stun, so it kind of keeps him in place there. So that's another thing. Also, if you want to expend a Ravage at the right time, I think they're more than happy to do so to stop the Brewmaster. I saw this picked up when we were casting the Eastern as well, or Eastern scene as well, is that Slark was picked up in response to Brewmaster a lot, because it's very difficult to actually hone in onto a Slark with a Brew with your split, because Slark can just pounce away, he can ult away, he can death pack stuns and stuff, and stuns and slows. So in that sense, Slark was picked up as a counter to Brewmaster, I think, for the Chinese. And I'm wondering if GoldBlack is kind of has the same mode of thinking. I know GoldBlack is a fantastic drafter and a very smart guy, one of the smartest in the West. So I'm wondering if that's his mode of thinking.
Yeah, I think you're on the mark. And can't say enough about GoldBlack. And again, you know, it's unfortunate. This might be the last time we get to see GoldBlack in D2L play. Again, at some point, presumably, he will begin to play with Na'Vi. Na'Vi, though, is not part of D2L Season 5 play this season. They had to decline due to some scheduling issues they had going on. But yeah, I mean, he's such a brilliant mind, and I love the way he drafts. They grabbed the Disruptor, which is really, that shores up the biggest concern I had, which was you have to have some other way to try and cope with that Brewmaster. Now you have a nice AoE silence. You have the ability to punish heroes like Morphling and Bat, who at least for the moment want to get in your face. The Brew the same way. There is a short amount of time with quick enough fingers you can get down the Static Storm after he blink claps and then splits. So there's going to be the opportunity for that. And Disruptor works really well as a counter to the Bad Rider as well. So nice pickup there in that last position for Polar.
Pretty good counter against the Morphling too. Being able to silence him if you can before you get the Strength Morph. That's kind of difficult to do, but at the very least bringing them back, or bringing the Morphling back with the glimpse into the ulti is still effective enough in the early stages of the game to get some kills on him. So yeah, nice last pick here for Virtus.Pro Polar.
I like Virtus Polar. That works.
Virtus Polar. There you go.
V Polar, son. Quick pause and quick resume. We are ready to go. Our second best of 3 of the day. Once again, this is our kickoff day for Western Division action. And I want everyone to make sure, we put out a post a couple of weeks ago that was listing out all of our schedule and all that. We did have to update that one time. We had to work with Ace. There was another conflict with Ace, which means we had to... I shouldn't say conflict with Ace. I'm actually not sure, as that's something our awesome admin Gianni handles. Let's just say things got shifted again, and we had to talk to Ace and work with them and make sure we got everyone fit into the right slot. So starting, is it tomorrow? I think we have one best of 3 tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Then we just go crazy on Tuesday, and it's 4 best of 3s a day for like 10 straight days or something. But yeah, make sure you check out all of the websites. Make sure you have the d2l.gg. All of the information about the tournament you could possibly want found there. And, of course, keep up to date by following us on Twitter and following D2L on Twitter at D2LGG and on Facebook as well, as the schedules are set, but we are having to send out late releases to all of the other news sites and et cetera to make sure everyone has the most up-to-date information. But, yeah, we should be good to go. Doesn't look like we're going to have any team drifting on the other side of the map. So how about we take a look at who's handling who. Beginning with Polar, going to be GoldBlack playing on the Ogre Mage. We're going to have Illidan playing on our Slark. Tidehunter taking a bit of damage from Pile Die. He's going to be played by Phobos. This is his second time on the Tide today. Did not have success that first time in Game 2 of the initial series of the day. It's going to be the Death Prophet taking mid. Again, this is 4th straight game that Lil has taken the Death Prophet mid, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? In the meantime, C9 has Eternal Envy playing on the Morphling. He's going mid, at least for the moment. Pile Die is going to be playing on our Skywrath. It's going to be Fata playing on the Brew. He is in top lane. It's going to be that duo lane mid that I anticipated. AUI on the Lich with the Morphling, again played by Envy. And the Bat taken off into the out lane. That's wrong. Out into the off lane. Bone 7.
Yep. Owie's trying to do some harass here to Lil, but it's not very good until you at least get that level 2. So once he gets that level 2, it'll be fine. Top lane, Pilot Eye trying to put as much damage as he can into DK Phobos, which he can because prior to level 2, this hero does not have any defensive capabilities. No Kraken Shell, no Stout Shield. So despite being very fast and mobile with the boots, he is getting very bullied up here. So this is going to mean a very fast blink here for Fata. Which I do like this decision, by the way. I like to have the primary farm onto a hero that's going to be using like something like a Blink Dagger early on, rather than let's just farm up more so that he can farm more. I think this is a better decision.
I really like the way AUI is playing this in mid against Lil. He was seriously just sitting right here, going auto attack for auto attack. Just going, yeah, it's fine. I don't need the health, man. I've got regen. You need it a lot more than I do. And in the meantime, Envy just doing his own thing, farming well. He's doubling up anyone on the map. He's basically perfect CS, and he's going to go ahead and waveform forward. Here's GoldBlack that's in the right place at the right time. That might be enough to keep Lil alive. Nope, never mind. There's going to be that Frost Nova to seal the deal as AUI draws first blood. Envy still going toe-to-toe with Gold Black. And here's going to be the TPN. Envy going to waveform away a little late. There's a Fire Blast on the AUI. Crypt Swarm's there, but very early level, so not enough damage. Battered and bruised, but first blood in hand. C9 wins that exchange.
It was funny to see Goblak just not go down at all. He was just like, all right, bring it, man. I am not letting down. I am not letting down. And Envy was the one to flee, so pussy. Goblak will be fine. He'll probably have to go back to base in a little bit. Maybe he'll throw out a celebratory Fire Blast for a CS or something. Nope, they actually give him a Tango, so he's wanting to... Nope, okay, he's going back. All right, not quite sure what's going on, but he will go back and heal. In the meantime, top, DK Phobos, still level 1, only 31 experience to his name. The Skywrath does have an Invis rune, and he's not going to try to be sneaky about it. He just wants to hit him somewhere.
Yep, he was going to roam on mid, but... he might have had a chance to do something with it as well. However, it was spotted out by Phobos, who was eyeballing it just as he had picked it up, saw it pinged out. So, and also a ward down for C9, not going to be caught unawares of anything themselves. So right now the vision has been really quite good. I want to see who's going to start moving first. Like you said, they're going to farm the early blink on Phaeton, no doubt about that. Slark, I wonder if they're going to take an extreme farm approach to him or if they're going to want to get him more active. What do you think?
For the Slark, I think it's going to be... I don't know. He could do a lot of different things. The most standard, obviously, is like Tread's Blink and just start running at people with Ravage and the DP ulti, which I think that's what they're going to have to do because I don't think they can rely on, again, the same situation, Ravage getting up there with a Blink fast. Like, he is not doing well at all. No, not at all. Not 1. Even level 2. So I think, yeah, he's going to have to compensate for that and try to get a little bit more aggressive.
Speaking of aggressive, in mid, we've got 2 now in pocket, Gold Black hanging around. And yeah, they're going to send Phobos into the jungle or something. Like, he's just not going to get anything accomplished in this lane. The kill potential way too high for C9 with a Skywrath and a Brew. That's 2 heavy slows, fair amount of damage output at the early levels. And he is a Tide Hunter. So he's making his way up. 4-minute rune will be a regen that's going to be grabbed by Pile Die as he just sees Phobos show his face. Actually going to hang on to it and give it to Envy. So bottling it up. There's a bounty at bottom. And things are going to remain quiet for a little bit longer.
Yep, some very good stacks in the jungle here, though, for Cloud9. There's a triple stack next to Pile Die right now. Batrider stacked another stack in the main hard camp. So this Batrider will get a nice jump start from farm, despite having to leave his lane. And in the meantime, Aoi decides that, oh, Pounce actually missed there from Illidan. He still wants to pursue this, but kind of interesting play right there. He's going to have to pop his health potion, taking a lot of damage, actually. So unfortunate missed Pounce there. And as a result, Aoi's going to get a lot of extra experience down here. He's going to hit about 4 and maybe 4.5 after a sacrifice.
In mid, looked like there was potential for action, but little trading in the paint, not much else. Poor Tide is still level 1, and he has got to be careful. He is in the jaws of the lion right now. A lot of...
Envy.
Yep, Envy in trouble. Morphing Strength hit with the Fire Blast, and he's just going to give one up, I think. He uses that regen rune. And so, yeah, that's Envy. Just Envy things. Even though he's the brink of death, he gets off a little extra tick on his regen and goes, maybe I can kill him. Maybe I can right-click. It's fine. But yeah, the Tide is still struggling mightily and can't even get anything from this camp. He's trying to pull it. He's trying to muck up the lane somehow, and he just can't make it happen.
Just can't do it. And then oh no, he just ported too and canceled it. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
He had a TP scroll on him and he just wasted it, unfortunately. So he's not able to use that to kind of help someone out or get out of harm's way if he needs to. Not as big of a deal as it used to be once it was 135 gold, but it definitely is a big deal when you're this under-farmed. And now he's getting forced out of experience range even at his tower, which is really bad.
Well, if there's any good in this, never mind. Pile Die is about to hit 3. There's a concussive shot. Phaeton's there to follow it up. He is level 6. They're ready to dive hard if they need to. I don't think they do, right? No, he's going to go ahead and use the split. Does not want to chance it. Wants to make sure that initial split is worthwhile. And slowly, Lil is making his way up. But C9 seems to be in control as they tallied first blood, and now they get a second kill as the Tide drops there. In mid, things getting a little bit busy. Can be a waveform. The stand-in, our Disruptor, in position to make something happen, is not level 6. Hell, he's not level 4, but AUI caught amidst all of VP Polar as they swarm him. and secure the kill. So make it 1-2.
Pilot Eye getting some nice last hits up here in this stack that he's actually stolen here from Bat. Bat did take his stack, by the way, and he actually doesn't have as much gold as I thought he was. Speaking of Bat, he does get hit by a Pounce, doing a lot of damage to Illidan, though, with that Firefly up. Here we go. We're going to see some blood here on one end of the other.
Wow.
Are we? That was so close.
Yeah, that was ballsy from Illidan. Using that, I mean, using his Dark Pact. If the Bat had stayed, I mean, hell, I guess he just assumed he didn't have a point in a Flame Break, but if Bonin had a value point in the Flame Break, he could have killed him after the Dark Pact just with one Flame Break. So, very ballsy, but everyone stays standing.
Yeah, very close. He's still up there as far as farm, but so is the Morphling, so is the Brew. And I think that was the right decision by the Brew to use that early ult. Just get in there, get out as fast as you can. He's going to have it up by the time, close to about the time he has his blink, which he will have it about now. So 40 more seconds for him on that ultimate. And yeah, I think Cloud9 is perfectly fine with this. Main thing, as we talked about, is that 0 CS completely for this Tidehunter. He's going to get his first one of the game at 8 minutes in as he dings level 3 after this Ogre Bruiser takes a long time for him to kill.
Not even using his Anchor Smash, but only has 1 point into it, so just hanging out. And like you said, he should be able to get this. In the meantime, Envy finds himself a Bounty Rune, so he's going to be able to stay out, stay active. AUI is almost level 6, and they're going to be able to fight around Chain Frost somewhat early, especially if Bone 7's able to get his button gear and get a Blink Dagger sometime soon. 8 minutes in, and he's not as close to it as you would think he would be.
No. So
that at least gives Polar some time. I think the question is time for what, though? Like, what's Illidan going to, like, I don't think there's no, on Slark, I don't feel like there's any one big item where you go, okay, we got this in 20, hang on. Gold Black gets off the Fire Blast on the Bone 7. He's going to be rushed nonetheless and lassoed. And he's going to end up dead, one would imagine. Got him. Threw out the Chain Frost just to be safe. It's going to be a glimpse that brings the Bat back. They have nothing to hem him up after he lands, though. So a little bit of an odd situation there. They converged like they wanted to help Gold Black and maybe re-engage, but instead, not really getting much accomplished. Illidan's making his way over, and Envy being very brave. Doesn't have to replicate out. Yeah, he's just going to go for this kill now. Illidan's there, catches him with the pounce. He's going to be morphing strength, but Phaeton there as well. Has the ulti if he needs it. Illidan right on his tail. Fire Blast is there, and Envy able to waveform away, playing right up to the living edge. As he's still morphing strength, just trying to get himself to safety. Gold Black, is he going to dive it? He is. The lumbering big guy looking for a Fire Blast. Will he find it? Got him on the high ground. He's by himself. Pile Die is there, and Gold Black just fed. I think. Yep, Envy's fine. So Gold Black thinking a little too much of the big man and ends up feeding an easy kill. And that actually went to Lich with Envy in range as well. So not the best decision I may have seen the mad scientist make.
Definitely not, but that was kind of sloppy too from Envy. Totally whiffed his waveform there, going for, I believe it was the Disruptor, I think?
It was. It was, yeah, X.
Also, one interesting thing is that Death Prophet leveled his ulti at 6. He had 2 or 3, 2, and then his ult at 6, which you almost never see happen anymore, just because the ghosts are so few. Like, it's only 4 at base, and by that time you only had 2 in Witchcraft, so it's only getting extra, 4 spirits? It just doesn't seem very effective.
Right.
But maybe he had the point ready, and he just found the need to use it there, but didn't seem to be too effective, as there's a blink here with the split coming out from Panda.
They're going to get Lil. They may be able to get something in return, but they're definitely going to get Lil. We see Gold Black lifted by the Storm aspect. Lil using his magic wand. Still got hit with the rock from below. Now they're going to try to turn it around. In the meantime, AUI down to half health. Gold Black can't stay on the ground. Bone 7's there, has a lasso at the ready, but no mobility item. Phaeton going to re-engage, and now they're going to try to get Phobos out, and they will. So a nice survival move from him. But nonetheless, they're giving up too many, man. That's going to be the 5th kill C9 has tallied in the first 11 minutes, which doesn't sound that impressive, except that Polar has only notched 1, and C9 has gotten all the farm they want. They've got Envy split pushing, taking towers in top, and this poor Tidehunter is every bit of level 4 with every bit of 300 gold, brown boots, and a magic wand. He is miles away from where he needs to be to have an impact.
Yeah, I also think that maybe Illidan could have ported there. And I looked at him and I was like, okay, go buy a TP scroll, but he still doesn't have one. I think just even having a TP scroll is, like Dota 101. Like you don't leave past your river unless you have a TP scroll on any hero, really. especially a hero that can really get into a fight quickly and just. Also, he has max Dark Pact. This is very interesting. Not to nitpick, but I never see this. I don't see Slark, or I'm not the best Slark player myself, honestly. I never play the hero, but don't you normally max Pounce? I think that's kind of the quintessential ability for him. But nonetheless, the point still stands. I think he needs to be active, and that starts with a TP scroll. So either sell this Stout Shield or something. But he actually has a Band of Elven Skin, so it looks like he's going to go for a Yasha into a Sanctioned Yasha. I'm not quite sure, but not going to be an early Blink Dagger as I thought it would be. Speaking
of Blink, there's one for the bat. And a little later than I think we would have liked, especially given how much work went into stacking those camps. But Bone 7 now up and ready here in mid. Gonna have Gold Black initiated on. Mystic Flare's on the money. And able to survive just by the skin of his teeth. Took his wand charges to get him out. Fata gonna have his ulti up in 22. They may want to delay, or they might want to reveal this. In the meantime, Slark's gonna find himself a solo kill, bringing down the Lich in bottom lane. Smoke out of C9. And they're gonna try to reveal this Blink Bat in grand fashion, I do believe. They might take a run at the Slark. They've still got Pylite Die here in mid. And Eternal Envy's still under smoke, but he hasn't committed to going one direction or the other. Bone 7's going to go. They're going to catch Illidan. There's going to be the TPN. Dark Pacted out of it. But here's Fata. There's the clap. And his ulti. Not going to last for long. Goodbye. Slark has been taking the hard farm approach, and that's fine. But if you end up giving up deaths like that, you're going to find yourself way, way behind. So at bottom, not only do they get the kill, they managed to deny the tower that was right just about to drop. And I just feel like C9 is just humming, man. Like, they are absolutely crisp this game.
Yep, and I didn't really see, but I don't know if that was his intention to block the pounce of Slark amidst the what was the ult called? Amidst the Shadow Dance, but yep. Regardless, it did get hit, and he wasn't able to use it as an escape mechanism. So nicely played right there. Double damage up on the Morphling, which is the best hero to get it on. Actually, hold that thought.
God. Gold Black blown up. They do have Envy. No, he made it out of the kinetic field. Static Storm was there. If he had been caught there, that would have been a death on him. He did have a replicate up, so he left that way. AUI, in the meantime, going to be at the hands of the Wrath of Illidan. Oh, there's the Ravage, too. And Fata trying to make it happen. He does get the split off. They're going to chase this down. They're going to get at least one kill. Let's see if he can turn around and find something else. Illidan being pursued by all of the aspects. And, oh, he actually tried to pounce and got tossed up, but looks like he wanted to withdraw. A little indecisiveness there. And, yeah, Illidan's going to be just fine. Still, they get another kill. The tower, in the meantime, is brought down. So they didn't get the deny there either. 8-3, and C9 just continues to pile it on. Bone 7.
Comes the bat, too.
Yep. Oh, Lil. They can't lose Lil like this. He's gone, and now they're going to try to reinitiate, but Illidan's right in the mix of things. Pylite Die will be brought down. They don't have Brewmaster ulti. They don't need it. They're just burning them down at this point. They're way too far ahead in terms of development. They're way too far ahead in terms of draft, to be honest. I feel like this draft is just working so much better. And their lanes. I mean, and the poor Tidehunter, he's ravaged once this game, and he was ravaging basically just as a panic maneuver, and he's not even working on a Blink Dagger. He has a mech on the way, and he's close to it. That's great, but I don't know how VP can hope to take a fight.
I just think that C9's burst and magic damage is much higher than that of VP Polar's, and it's showing with the Mystic Flare and Panda having a relatively low cooldown in his ulti. It's 120 seconds now, then it's level 2, and he's level 11, so that's very, very good for him. And the Morphling, we haven't really seen Envy buy any item just yet, so we're not quite sure what he wants to go for, but still has another roughly 3,000 gold for himself, so safety net for the hard carry is here for Cloud9 in the Morphling. So.
Oh, for sure.
Yep, and that was a really nice Chain Frost. He wasn't able to actually get any kills with it himself, but he was very close in getting both the Tide and I think it was the Disruptor, someone else, but very, very nice Chain Frost from Owie.
In mid, Polar wants to get something working.
Oh, Owie's dead.
Where did it get him? I didn't even see it.
Right in the jungle there. Actually, just as I talk about him, it's the Caster's Curse, man, I swear. Talk about him for 1 second, he's dead.
He's given up a couple of those. He's now 4-4. They're going to glyph this mid tower. And Envy spotted out. He's actually using the vision very well. And now they're going to try to engage this. Envy right on top of Gold Black. Doesn't want to spin his waveform quite yet. There's going to be the glimpse, and he will be sent back. Bone 7, though, is going to go fishing. Kinetic field is down. Fata jumps past it. He's got his ulti. Not going to have to use it yet. They're going to get 2 without even having to use the brew split. That's 2 free ones. The Exorcism has been expended for literally no reason at all. Like, yeah, this is going to accomplish nothing. And it's going to be on cooldown for 2 minutes plus, and C9 might just go take a tower just because they can, or hell, Roshan.
Yeah, I mean, they can do whatever they want at this point. They need to push out top, which is kind of annoying for them, but they're in a fantastic spot. Oh, I'm just going through puberty now, I guess. But and it's not going to be a fast mech, or sorry, it's not going to be a fast blink here for DK Phobos. Rather, it is going to be a mech. So he's just given up on the whole blink initiation idea.
Nope.
And nope, by the way, it's not going to be a mech either, at least right now, because he buys mana boost.
All right, they're going to catch Lil again, and this is...
Oh, boy.
I don't know what you do. You have given up way too much on that Death Prophet. 0 impact, 1 and 4, and just doing nothing on the map right now. And having no farm, none worth mentioning, less than Bone 7, right around, I mean, your Skywrath, they're going to get Gold Black as well. This is just coming apart at the seams. I mean, this is the gravy train with biscuit wheels for Cloud9.
Yeah, I think Gold Black needs to retire this this strategy with this draft because he tried something very similar against Alliance, and it was the same situation against a very different draft. Just did not work out at all, and I don't know whether it's
the Tide, man. I think it's just the Tide.
Well, yeah, the Tide got shut down, and also the other time the DP got shut down too. They just didn't have enough farm, and those are like kind of the big team fight item, or sorry, team fight heroes. And also, despite Ogre being very popular right now, unless you get those multicasts, he actually doesn't do very much damage. He really doesn't. I think that a lot of people think you can do a lot of damage, you can roam around along with him, but until you get those multicasts, your damage isn't really there. It's mostly, oh, I miss a kill there. But
I got it, don't worry. You didn't miss anything. It was Slark overextending, being caught, and now we're probably going to have more. Phaeton got silenced, but here comes, Morphling can replicate in. The replicate's right back there. He got off the Static Storm, but not quick enough. He did get the split off. Now Gold Black's going to end up dead. Behind that, still Envy has the option to come in if he wants to. And Phobos doing what he can. Yep, Morphling's going to replicate in. He's going to waveform through, secure. Oh, he got glimpse, but it's not going to matter as he secures the kill nonetheless. And Lil, once again, dead. Dead skis. That's a big, big loss. And I don't, at some point, they're just going to have to tap out. Right now, C9 is like a rabid dog just tearing at their throat. We're getting up towards 10K gold advantage. We've eclipsed the 10K number in experience, and I don't see C9 slowing down anytime soon.
And Batrider's even gone for a Boots of Travel over the Force Staff, which I think is, well, for one, it's showing you how far ahead they are.
Yeah.
But two, it's really good when you have a Panda on your team if you can prioritize Boots of Travel, because we saw right there, actually, you can Boots of Travel on the Pandas, which I think is really stupid, by the way. I think that should be changed. I don't think you should at all be able to TP to a hero himself, because that's essentially the hero. As, Godlike beats up another one. He's 1-8-1. Oh, boy. Not a good game for him.
Tough one for our boy. 1-8-1, like you said. On the other side, AUI's died a bit, but he's dealt a bit of death himself. 7-4-3 for him. 5-0 on Phaeton's Panda. 3-1 on the stand-in. Excuse me, on Pylai Die, not the stand-in. Stand-in is the Disruptor, who is currently 0-3. Pylai Die having a great game. I mean, it's 19-5. What are you going to say? Everyone's having a good game that happens to be wearing this certain shade of blue. Envy is eating a little bit of damage from Illidan, and now he's just going to turn around, and Illidan wants this, and he's going to end up giving up a lot for it if he does get it. Yeah, he's dead. That's going to wear off. Ooh, a little slow on the reaction. If they had got him with the Ancient Seal, they might have been able to kill him, but does manage to slip away.
Well, he does run at haste movement speed with the Saint and Yasha and the passive from Shadow Dance. And actually, he's in the Dark Pact away, but yeah, he'll be fine. So he moves very fast, but does he do enough damage? I don't think so. And I think that's been the problem for this draft for VP Polar, not only this game, but the game prior, is that they just don't have the damage. Their damage needs to be fought around the Ravage, but when Tide Hunter has back-to-back horrible games, it's not really his fault. They just had the lane set up, to be so good against him. The one before was Rubik Viper. This game, it was, hold on, thought I heard Batrider Lasso.
Yep, Lasso to bottom. They've got our stand-in, our Disruptor, who will be dead skis again. Oh, no, Gold Black's there. Might be enough to buy him some time. Gets off the Ignite. Nope, Phaeton's there to clean up house. They're going to get Gold Black as well. And no reaction coming. Looks like they did. Oh, no. Gold Black actually does manage to make it away, so well played there. They did manage to get a kill in mid as well. As we can see, they got Pylai Die. And they're sweeping across. They've got to pour it on while they can. Envy doesn't have a replicate up.
Kind of interesting that Bat is going for a BKB over a Forced He's just opting out of the Force entirely.
I don't know. I mean, they've got... I don't know. I don't think they care, just to be honest. I really don't. I don't think it matters. Like,
I mean, he doesn't want to get glimpsed is, I guess, the only reason why. But
that makes sense. And you know, here's the thing about going with this very quick mech build on Phobos, who struggled so much. He basically rushed it. I mean, he kind of rushed it in a goofy way. Like, he semi-rushed it, then he decided to build arc boots in the middle of the build-up, then get another 900 gold and finish it. But it came out exactly the same time as the mech from AUI. So, like, you know, if you're going to have a Tide do that, it's because you usually are going to be giving him farm priority, and he can farm Ancients, he can farm stacks really well with Anchor Smash. But you give him that, and it gives you no advantage because it's just an equal thing. Now there's going to be the Chain Frost Throne and finishing off Lil one more time, along with the Bad Riders. So 21-7, now C9 triples up Polar.
Well, at the very least, Illidan's able to find another pickup on the support, so Pilot Eye gets taken out by Illidan. So if he's able to do this a lot, they can maybe kind of creep their way back in this game. He just needs to do it on a more important hero like Fata, who has a nice streak under his belt. So, but what you were saying about the Tide, I totally agree with you. Like, if we remember watching some of the Chinese teams, they build mech a lot more than the Westerners do on their Tide before Blink. And they usually, I might see aggression here. And they usually do it before a Blink,
This could be a chance for Polar if they sniff this out. There we go. Ravage immediately. They got Phaeton. Static Storm goes down. This is what they needed so desperately. Phaeton getting a little lackadaisical on his choice of fighting ground, and it cost him there. And can they get 2? No. Would have helped a lot if they'd have gotten 2 or 3, but they will take a Brewmaster kill for sure, and that's his first death of the entire game, so I'm pretty sure it was a nice little, 575 gold going the way from the... Actually, who got that? That was...
The Disruptor.
Yeah, the Disruptor, so probably could have been on a better hero. Nonetheless, they now have a chance to push for an objective at Tier 2 bottom as well.
Well, if he's able to get somehow an Ags this game, it could swing the game. I mean, Batmatter comes in, thinks he's okay with the BKB, gets hit with the Static Storm. Same thing if Fata decides to buy a BKB. Actually, he's not going to go for the BKB. He's going to go for an AC. So just pure aura build here for him. So, yeah, we'll see if he can actually farm it up. Again, if Illidan's able to get some more pickoffs around the map, and he's got some decent farm under himself, it's not over just yet. Obviously, Santa has a fantastic lead, but more kind of complacent plays like that from C9, and before you know it, VP is actually right back in it. So.
Right now, I feel like VP is suffering from the right now problem. You know what would be awesome to have right now for the Tide? A Blink. You know what would be awesome to have right now for the Disruptor? A Scepter. You know what you're not allowed to have right now? A Tide or a Scepter, or a Blink or a Scepter. So it's they're behind in core items, and I guess Scepter's not really core; it's very luxury. But I mean, like you said, if C9 and C9 does do that from time to time. I mean, they're not horrible about it, but every now and then they'll get a little too comfortable in their station and take a fight from time to time that maybe they don't need to, but they're going to need a lot of help is VP. They're going to need C9 to do that a couple of times. They're
just being nice. Like, they're just testing to see if VP Polar has a pulse.
Yep.
So they're just making sure that they're still in the game. And there will be an AC here on the Brew here relatively soon. So he actually picks up his Hyperstone. So very good farm for him. As expected. I actually haven't pulled up the net worth. I'm assuming it's him and then Morphling on top. Actually, it's Slark. So yeah, Slark with those pickoffs is actually on the top of the net worth. Just very, very close by is the Morphling and the Panda.
Overall, though, across the board, still 10,000 gold lead right now for C9.
Sure.
And more than that, so... Is nice, like you said, to have your Slark up there, but a Morphling, I don't know. That's not fair. I mean, Slark is really good with farm and levels, but all other things being equal, I worry more about a Morphling that's overfarmed than I do a Slark that's overfarmed. Slark's an impact player, but he needs help. And he needs to just make everything happen on his own by cutting the map up, and they have not been very effective at that. C9 moving into the Roche pit, and we'll see if VP wants a challenge.
Yeah, I want to agree with you on the Slark point, but I've seen so many games where Slark can, like, he's just changed my mind. It's like, oh my god, this hero's now hitting for 400 in attack. Hold that thought. Here we go.
Yep. Oh, Lil got caught. Bat.
Can't happen.
Nope. Can't let that happen. Now there's going to be a static start. Oh, VP. This might be ball game. They give up 2 for free. They're going to give up a Roche for free. Illidan, if he dies, yeah, he will die. Oh, he got a nice pounce off. They're going to have enough. Arcane Bolt. Got him. 3 down, and it cost almost no HP. Not only did it not cost the hero, it cost almost no HP on the side of Cloud9 to kill 3. That's the status of things right now. And looks like I got into that fight recap a little late. However, tower does drop, and they're going to move back into the pit.
It's actually kind of funny that they've drafted DP like every single game, and not to be too harsh, but I feel like it just hasn't done anything like in most of the games. And the games where they have been successful, I don't think it was primarily the DP anyway. And he also has this quirky build where he goes for treads. Obviously, Yules is kind of like a staple on him, but I like mobility on Death Prophet. I think that's what his or her strength is just being able to maneuver around and get around fights quickly and in and out. But when you're the first one in with your exorcism, he actually didn't even have his exorcism pop, but when you're the first one in, the first one to die on a Death Prophet, you kind of just lose the fight. So you have to play your cards a lot more carefully.
Well, I'll tell you what's not fun. If you're a VP Polar, is a full assault cuirass done on Phaeton. Totally done. Has that and a Vlad's. And is level 16 with level 3 ulti ready to go in 30 seconds, give or take. So they're sticking in it. They're going to try to farm this out, try to play this out. That blink, long delayed, oft rumored, finally complete on Phobos. But, I mean, let's be honest. This is C9's game to win or lose and game to dictate.
Yeah, with Ice Armor and the AC Aura with Vlad's, he's got 36 armor for himself and the Pandas, and well, obviously he's buffing up his teammates as well with the negative armor and the positive armor. So, yep, very, very good stuff for him. He's immortal at this point. And I was talking about how BKB would have been good for him, but honestly at this point with all this armor, 36 against the Death Prophet, that Death Prophet ulti is going to do next to nothing.
Yep, she's level 13, so I mean, you're still talking level 2 on her ulti.
Yeah, not where you want to be at all.
C9 taking their time, pushing the lanes. Lincoln's done on Eternal Envy. Still has his Aegis and has an Eagle Song up as well. And this is just what C9 does. They're going to take their time with this. They're not going to rush overly and try to close it out with one big push. They're going to buy Envy the time he wants and needs to feel comfortable, and he will get a gajillion CS, and then they'll go walk over them and finish the game. But question of time. And at top, they do force a reaction. Envy moves up. Illidan will be able to skirt to safety, as will our Disruptor. So for the moment, don't know that we should expect a whole lot of action. I think both teams are just trying to ease into this mid game.
Yep, I think for the support's sake from C9, maybe if they can invest in some Ghost Scepters would be good for them, not getting pickoffs, because I think the only opening that VP Polar had, and when they looked good for about a couple minutes, about 10 minutes ago, is when these pickoffs were happening from the Slark on the support. So if these supports are able to get some Ghost Scepters, maybe. There is a Yules up onto Pilot Eye, so that's good for him. Just minimizing deaths for them. I think they don't have any problems as they approach the late game.
Bye, Gold Black. There you go. Little help there. Deadskis. Very nice to give it to Pilot Eye. Envy with that haste rune, going to chase down one more. 20 seconds on the E-Blade. Not even going to have to use it. It's irrelevant. Bone 7's there, and they are just taking kills wherever they feel like it. They're basically farming heroes at will. Illidan has a DD, and he may try to YOLO it and try to do something. He has been trying to play the James Bond role. I mean, he's been all over the place behind enemy lines. It looks like he's trying to snipe. Is he trying to snipe a courier right now?
No, he's just trying to walk in a way that he doesn't get spotted and still uses DD, but I don't know. If he can find the right opening with his DD, he's going to hit like a truck. It's very scary against Shotgun Morph with an Aegis, though, so it's asking for a lot.
Yeah, he's going to head elsewhere. 2-2 in mid. Drops for free. And they may be ready to go. This may be the last little breath VP has. And Illidan, whiffed on the pounce. Lincoln's is going to be popped. The Haunt, or the Exorcism has not been used. It's not going to be used as they blow him up. And there's going to be a beautiful three-man clap as Phaeton engages in. Phobos got the Ravage off. Too little, too late. Chain Frost doing its number. 4 down for nil. Envy still up, and Illidan's going to make it a full 5-man wipe. GG cold. As Polar coming off of a big win against Alliance. Big upset win, I do dare say. Comes into game 1 of their second best of 3 and comes in a sputtering. Could not get anything working. And they're going to have to change something up. And if you're going to draft the Tidehunter, I think they need to not draft it that way because it has not worked twice now.
Yeah, or he just needs to not like go to the lane and just start jungling right from the get-go. But as much as the Tide had a terrible start, and he did, I think they just need to stop drafting the Death Prophet. I don't think they're getting anything done with it. Their game plan with it is just not working out at all. Excuse me, it can't be overlooked, too, that GoBlack did not exactly have the most spectacular game at 1-11-2. That one feed that he just rushed Envy, just not manning down. He is not scared today. No pussy today here for GoBlack as he wanted to still get that kill but couldn't get it. Anyway, a nice victory from Cloud9. Seemed very easy, as it probably was for them. We'll have to see if VP Polar can switch something up here for Game 2.
No pussy today. Is that like a magazine? Do you have a subscription to that? Something you know a lot about?
No.
Oh, I know. You have a lovely girlfriend who I can't wait to meet.
Oh, she doesn't care, man. She doesn't care, trust me.
Well, I would imagine Polar cares, because that was ugly. Like you said, 1-11 for GoBlack. Not his best performance. 1-8. That's really the one that cripples you. I mean, you have an Ogre Mage that feeds, whatever, so long as your cores are okay. Slark went 4-4, broke even. Tidehunter was a complete non-factor, ravaged twice, maybe 3 times, and got nothing accomplished either time. 3 heroes in the negative fantasy point realm, 1-8-2 on Lil. And maybe they'll pick him a different hero. Maybe not. We'll find out. Game 2 of this second best of 3 on the way. Cloud9 leads 1-0. Stick with us. We'll see if they can close it out or if Polar is going to give us our second Game 3 of the day. I'm AC. That's Strauf. We'll be right back.